My name is Dr. Glenn Fink, and I'm the author of the coming book, The Gospel, God's Great Undoing, your part in God's unfolding drama of starting from creation until today. So today I'd like to talk about what makes our universe special. This is the fourth video in the Special Universe mini-series, and today we're going to talk about life that's built on carbon. See, the whole point of the book is that God is showing that he is good and there are no alternatives. And in this first part, we're showing that God made the universe good. That's part of how he proves that he is good. And he made our home to be beautiful and set for life. Last time we talked about how the universe was prepared for us, how our galaxy, solar system, and even the planet was prepared just for life. And this time we're going to talk about how the chemistry on this earth is made for life and how other forms of chemistry simply won't work. Now, I know chemistry is probably not your favorite topic, but we'll get to it. But let me ask you a fun fact question first of all. Have you ever heard of silicon-based life forms? Something you read about in science fiction. Do you think that's possible? Think about that. We'll get back to that at the end of the program. So, I know chemistry might not have been your favorite subject in school. It wasn't mine either, but there is something special about chemistry you should know that makes it impossible to have life without a loving creator stewarding the process. So there's one special element that truly makes life possible, and that is element number 6, carbon. Carbon is one of the group 4 elements along with silicon and several other heavier metals. And these are called group 4 because they're able to make 4 bonds with other atoms around them, including themselves. And that allows them to make long chains of structures that could be formed into bodily structures. Now, carbon is the only of one of those group 4 elements that is light enough to make bodily structures. Without carbon, physical life could not exist at all. Only carbon and silicon can make chains that are long enough for life, and only carbon can create bonds that are stable enough, but yet can be broken easily enough for us to create long chains of carbohydrates and break off little bits as we need to create energy for our bodies. So when we breathe, we combine that carbon in those carbohydrates with oxygen, and we create carbon dioxide to expel as waste. So this is very simple. It makes energy exchange very simple. It makes the possibility of metabolizing things very simple. And this is what carbon was designed to do. You couldn't do it with any other element. We only have to maintain a very moderate body temperature. We don't have to be super hot or super cold to release energy, to break the bonds and to build new bonds as needed. And it's so basic. Carbon is so basic to life because it creates this stability by connecting with itself and other elements and creates a large variety of different structures. So for instance, if you take carbon plus oxygen and hydrogen and you arrange them, you can form carbohydrates. And those are energy storage devices. They're basically the batteries of the cells. They can form body structures. If you organize them differently, you can make lipids, fatty acids that store energy. They form cell membranes, and they carry messages back and forth across cell boundaries. If you add to that those 3, nitrogen and sulfur, you can form proteins, and proteins help cells keep their shape and help us to carry messages back and forth. Proteins are basically little machines, little nano machines that work in our bodies to create and carry structures across and to take messages across. Also, they make up the amino acids that create our DNA that allows us to pass our inheritance onto our children. So there are lots of other things that are done in our bodies, but carbon is the basis for all those things. If you take the nucleic acids with carbon, hydrogen, and nitrogen plus phosphorus, you can create nucleic acids that contain instructions for DNA, and those allow you to build the proteins. So we have instruction sets that are based on carbon that allow us to build proteins that are based on carbon for us to use in the body. And this is why we have leftover waste. It's the carbon that comes off of those things, combines with oxygen, and then gets expelled. The other elements get recycled out in other ways. God designed carbon as the basis for life. No other element can take its place. So what about that fun fact about silicon-based life forms? Can there be silicon-based life forms, or is that just science fiction? Well, as it turns out, it is just fiction. Here's the deal. Silicon can make chains like carbon, but when carbon combines with oxygen, it creates carbon dioxide. You can expel it easily. When silicon combines with oxygen, it creates silica, which is basically sand. Can you imagine you're breathing in and it all turns to sand in your lungs? Can you imagine the energy it would take to expel that? We would have to have so much energy that we would basically have to be fire creatures. And then if we were fire creatures, we couldn't maintain any bodily shape or have any form. We would not be able to maintain our own identity or individuality at all. We wouldn't be able to have bodies. So as it turns out, silicon-based life forms is indeed just that. It's science fiction. It won't happen. So sorry to say for all those of you who are interested in finding silicon-based life forms someday, not happening. So thanks for watching. Be sure to look for my book coming out this fall. Next time, I'm going to talk about the big picture of creation. I'm going to put into context why the universe exists at all. Why did God go to all this trouble of making the universe, and where is he going with this thing? And that's going to conclude the first part of the four parts of this book. So thank you very much for watching. Please join us next time and write in the comments below so we can talk with you and get your questions answered. Do you have any questions about creation? Do you agree with the perspectives I've offered? I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. Please like and share this video. Please subscribe to my channel and get the word out to people who need to know the truth about God's creation and the fact that he alone is good and he loves us. He has a plan for us and he wants you to be part of that plan. Thank you very much. God bless you.